This valve cover gasket was leaking oil down the back of the engine onto the exhaust manifold and causing a burning smell and sometimes smoke when my wife drove her CX-5. So I'm going to replace it. To do that, I first have to remove the engine cover. Oh yeah. Yeah, this might not be the only leak, but it is leaking. But first, I'm gonna blow it out real good. That should be good enough. I'm gonna have to make sure it is free of the wiring harness. So I am going to try and release all these little mount points for the harness. All right, so that's free. See if I can free this little thing by pushing in a tab. Is that how this works? There we go. So that'll free. I'm hoping it'll free this. I thought I squeezed it enough to pop it out, but I guess, there we go. So that one is free. So now let's start unplugging stuff. So this hopefully comes off without incident. So I know this pipe has to come out. It doesn't want to, but it's gonna have to. Ouch. Well, it's out. This one should come out too. This one is gonna have to come off too. You don't want to move, probably because you haven't been moved in forever. There you go. And there's another screw over here. I might as well disconnect the negative battery terminal. That way I can't accidentally mess something up. Tuck it away. Another one. Yes, this whole thing is now free of the valve cover. Now I can do the ignition coils. So I'm gonna pinch these clips. See that one? Yeah, and this, even though I haven't freed everything down there, everything over here is free. See, does freeing this give me any extra movement? Some, but it'd be nice to free what's back there. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe I can flop the harness this way. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm gonna look into it. This is only held to the valve cover by the screw that was here and the screw that was here. The side ones just hold these components to this bracket. There's a clip under here that I'm gonna try and take out. Let's see if I can free this tube. Oh, come on, buddy. Headgummit, I broke it. It was the right area. I broke it, but I don't know what I broke because it still works. I got lucky. So I can hopefully swing this farther out of the way now, like that. And this I'll pull out from under. So that is out of the way. I'm almost clear. This tube runs over the top right side of the valve cover, or left side. But anyway, this side, it runs over this side. So I'm gonna see if I can take it off. If I can set this out of the way, I'll be looking good. But it too is held on by a bracket. Did I break it? That I broke. Don't do like me. I'm breaking stuff left and right. Not like it has any degrees of freedom to move. I won't break this one though, because I can see how it connects. Oh, it's latched on both sides. There we go. Sit that away, sit that away. Oh, that's a whole bracket. Oh man. Let's see, does that let this whole thing move? Not really. I did all that just to decide to just take that whole tube off. Let's see if I can make that happen. I don't know, maybe freeing this guy up and this one will give me a little more breathing room. It does. I think that's good enough. It looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 14, 15 bolts holding it in. I'm gonna try and take them out. Damn, it didn't fall to the ground. If I can't find it, I have a PCV valve showing up at the dealership tomorrow. I'll tighten all of them except for one that is very easy to get to, and then I will come back and install it after the fact. That sucks. In any event, let's see how easily it comes out. Pry right here outside of the sealing surface. Oh, did I miss one? Don't think so. Oh no, that's just RTV in strategic places. Maybe I should have moved a few more things. It'd be nice just to be able to pull this straight up. That wasn't as bad. That wasn't that bad. With the cover off, I could clearly see RTV was applied to the seams here and here, and it looked like it was applied to this entire hump. But that didn't jive with what I found in the manual later. I got a few areas to clean sealant from, but it does look like oil was leaking out of the back. So I'm going to cut this sealant away. Oh, it definitely needs sealant there because they're not exactly flush with each other. All in all, this car looks pretty good. I mean, the valve train looks pretty good. See this little bit? I want you away. Along with this adhesive, this area has a bunch of sediment. I do not want that in the engine. Thought I blew it off. Oh, it'll clear off pretty easily. All right, I got everything off now. A good wipe down with brake parts cleaner. But yeah, this rag is rag/old t-shirt. Pretty well soaked with brake parts cleaner. That's better. Spend a little extra time by these seams because it's gray RTV, so it looks like the aluminum sometimes. Sometimes what brake parts cleaner reveals is where you didn't get all the RTV off. And there's a little bit in this corner deep. Here is the cover with the old gasket. Oh, quite brittle. So I can understand why it might not be doing its job. Yes, rubber just ages, doesn't it? Oh yeah. Yep. Okay, I'm happy I'm replacing this. Just run this around the whole thing with a screwdriver. Because usually it's not this seal that leaks, it's the seal between the gasket and the head. Because this seal is pretty well captured and it's kind of hard for oil to go up and around it. It can happen, but it's more difficult. Yeah, that wasn't that bad at all. I will give a little attention to the little spots that have RTV still on them. And then I hit it with brake parts cleaner to get as much oil off the sealing surface as I could. I forgot that drying out oil makes it look weird. Oh man, it evaporated the oil and now it has that gray look. I forgot about that. But it won't be able to keep the RTV from curing. That worked. I'm gonna let this dry while I go eat and then I'll be back. Thankfully, this looks like the right gasket. I got this from Mazda. The regular parts stores, they kept saying without cylinder deactivation. And this is a 2018 with cylinder deactivation. And that does it. So the only areas that are getting RTV are right here and the seams over there. I'm inclined to just put RTV at the little angle, but when I took the old one off, it had it all the way. So I am going to put it where the OEM one was. But the manual states to only apply it in the corners. This was a while ago and the car is fine. But if you're watching this to do it on your car, I would say just follow the manual. A dab right on the seam. I'm gonna do the same thing on the back side. No. Let's see if I can reinstall this properly. There we go. There we go. I'll start putting these in. And I may look for the one that I dropped. The Permatex black RTV that I used calls for installing the parts until it squeezes out, waiting an hour, and then torquing the bolts to spec. Mazda gives you a range to torque these in. I'm picking 55 inch-pounds, and they want you to do it in this order. This is not ideal, but since I lost one, I left out an easily accessible one to install after I pick up the new bolt. I swear that does not seem like much torque at all, but that's what it called for. While the RTV cures, I can start putting stuff back together. Now, I am going to share the torque values for these because I got a comment last month, I believe. Somebody used my videos as a guide to replace their spark plugs, and they tightened these too much and broke their valve cover and had to replace it. These do not get torqued like a gorilla. Is that it? I think I'm done. I think I got everything connected. But I did get another valve cover bolt. There we go. Oh, my wife just showed up. So far, the valve cover is leak-free, but it will take a bit of driving to burn off all the existing oil. Next, I'll be directing my attention to the PCV valve, as it could have contributed to this leak, so subscribe to see that. But my wife needs her car, so it'll have to wait.